and a very warm welcome to our Honorable Director, Professor Dr. Satish Ubade, our esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Aman Sinha, distinguished faculty members, and the student of Matrix School of Management Studies. Dear student, Matrix is committed to enhancing the managerial competencies of MBA graduates by imparting contemporary knowledge and focusing on the latest advancement in the field of management in alignment with this vision. Our director, Professor Dr. Satish Ubade sir, has initiated the 4-dimensional lecture series, a distinguished platform that brings together eminent experts from academia and industry to share their insight, thereby enriching student learning and enhancing employability. Today, it is, it is now my great honor and privilege to introduce today's guest and distinguished speaker, Dr. Aman Sinha. Dr. Aman Sinha is a distinguished supply chain strategist, business consultant, and industry leader with over 19 years of extensive experience in transforming organizations and driving operational excellence. He is the founder of Tech SCM Solutions Private Limited and Adeco PAC, where he has been instrumental in delivering innovative, data-driven solutions across diverse industries. With a unique blend of strategic vision and hands-on implementation expertise, Dr. Sinha has successfully led large-scale supply chain transformation, optimize logistic networks, and enhances business performance for leading organizations. His professional journey includes association with globally recognized firms such as Accenture, Mahle Behr, and Cummins, along with consulting engagement for promoting clients in the automotive and manufacturing sectors. His areas of experts include end-to-end supply chain management, ERP implementation, business development, and organizational transformation. He holds a PhD in supply chain risk management and has undergone advanced leadership training from prestigious institute, which further strengthen his analytical and strategic capabilities. Dr. Sinha has been recognized with multiple national and international awards and has contributed extensively to research through his publications. He continues to play a significant role in advancing modern supply chain practices through innovation, leadership, and a commitment to excellence. I am confident that today's session will be highly enriching, offering valuable insights, practical knowledge, and motivational for all of us. So without further delay, let us extend a warm welcome to an aspiring experienced professionals and an exceptional mentor, Dr. Aman Sinha. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Giri sir, for my long introduction. It was not so much required, but anyway, thanks for that. Good morning to all. I do not know whether Ubale sir is on the call or not, but good morning to Dr. Ubale and other faculty members and dear students. So I'll try to keep my experiences short and sweet in next almost 45 minutes. And I encourage that at the end of my session, you should ask questions, whatever is coming into your mind. I'll try my level best to answer your queries. So that is how I have planned in. Okay, so I will start sharing my screen.
Before
Yeah, yes,
hand
sir.
over to sir, I request all students to kindly turn on their cameras for a group photograph.
Okay, so I should not be sharing, right? Yeah, just let me know, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mohit sir, done. Thank you, Mohit sir. Once again, a warm welcome to Dr. Aman Sinha. Over to you, sir, for the
Thank you,
session.
sir. Thank you. So, hope my slides are visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I'm going to share my journey so far, what I have been doing in last 19 years after my completion of the education. So, I thought that okay, I'll take you briefly through my education and then through various experiences and the learnings what I had and how I landed to become from a professional to an entrepreneur. So that journey also I will be sharing along with my learnings because I feel that is the most important to share with youngsters like you guys who are on the call today. So first of all, I did my graduation in mechanical, and then I did my first post graduation as a master of engineering in CAD CAM and robotics. After that, I got placed in R&D in one of the automotive air conditioning manufacturer in India, but I did not join. Somehow, I decided that okay, let me change my stream and let me go to the MBA field. So then I did my PGDIE from NITI Mumbai, which is nowadays IIM Mumbai. And after that, I joined Mahle Behar as a management trainee. And during my initial 12 years, 12 years of professional journey, I have been to various leadership trainings program, and some of the prestigious is of course one which I attended at the State Business School, University of Oxford, and then I also underwent through a long 11 months of training between JICA Japan and CII. So I have been to Toyota, I have been to many other companies in Japan. I did the SIR, which is the self-initiated research in Tokyo. And then, of course, I'm also a student of Dr. Ubale, so I did my PhD under his guidance in the area of supply chain risk management. So what I do after doing all this, maybe someone of you may feel that what is the necessity of doing so much of education and why not to start. So again, it is a personal call that how you want to shape up your career, and few things, believe me, it is not planned. So few things evolve as you grow up, and your mind may also change, and you would like to explore more and more. So I have been learning some or other things like nowadays AI is becoming very common, the data analytics. So I have also done a lot of certification courses from a very renowned professor from MIT US. So that it is very important for a professional, whether you are working with any company or you're running your own business, you should be completely updated that you know how the business landscape is changing, how the customer requirements are changing, and nowadays we know that geopolitical situations are changing very frequently, right? So I keep myself completely updated. I try, not completely, but I try to learn at least something which is area of my interest. So nowadays I am running three companies. I'm partner in all the three companies, and then I also work as a freelance consultant with McKinsey on some of the subject matter experts. And also, I like taking some lectures. So, whenever time permits, I also work as a visiting faculty. Now, as far as my career timeline is concerned, so I started my professional journey in 2006 after doing my MBA. So I started as a management trainee and with a very hardcore inventory management profile. And then I worked for a year, and suddenly, I got a very good jump only just after 1 year, wherein I became a SAP project manager for a manufacturing company based out of Pune, which is a German MNC. So in 2007, first time I traveled to Germany, and till now I have traveled to 16 countries for different business engagements. So I learned from other countries also that how do they work, what we can learn from them, how we can be competitive and so on. So one good part with my career is, of course, that at a very young age, I got a chance to lead a team. With 1 year of experience, I had a team of almost 18 members from India and remaining support team from Germany. Fantastic exposure. I learned that, being a junior leader, how still you can manage with the very senior team. So, and of course, the learning of a SAP tool was fantastic, which I carried out for 2 years. Then I moved on to the business development in 2009-10. I was responsible for the global business development, and in that I traveled to Europe, US to get the business acquisition. So from supply chain to ERP, project management, and then I moved on to business development. I think which is the most critical for any organization, that how to get a business. Fantastic learning again. And after doing this, I moved to consulting because I always wanted to become a consultant. So I joined Accenture, and I landed into the sales transformation project. So from B2B, I moved to B2C, and then I realized that what customer expects, and if you are sitting in a big corporate office versus if you really go and try to connect with the customers, again you will try to be more empathetic. You will understand that what customer wants, what is their need, and then you can always be more fruitful to the company, because now you know the supply chain, you know the business development, you know the B2C. So again, and as a personality, more and more you meet the strangers and you know that how to tackle their requirement, because sometimes customers are very absurd. They can demand anything, still you have to handle. So again, a very great learning over there. Again, I moved back in manufacturing because of some personal reason. So I became again a head of for the aftermarket business, which is again a retail business for spare management, and then I headed supply chain for the four plants. So this was, I think, my longest duration. If you see, almost 6 years I was holding that position, and there I think it was the transformation which happened to me as a person, and I could also transform the business and the KPIs of that company. And really, from here, from a local leader, I became a global leader. So, fantastic journey I had from 2011 to 2016. And then I decided to leave because of some reason, because it was a fantastic growth. I have been to Oxford. They wanted to make me CEO in next 2 years, which was 2019 was the target. But somehow, because of the stress level and some of the health issues, I decided to leave that company, and then I moved on to Cummins, wherein again I became a member of the senior management team, and my responsibility was again related to sales, which is the customer order management. That again, how do you receive the order, how do you process the order, how you provide the visibility of the order to a particular customer. So again, it has a combination of your software skill and the hardware skill, along with the IT tools. And then, so in 2017 only, I decided that let me do something at my own. And there was a big why, that why I wanted to do something at my own, because I was very well placed, everything was good, I was having no problem. Money wise, I was satisfied, position wise, I was satisfied, but something was haunting me, that can I live my life for a bigger purpose? I do not know you guys can correlate or not, but the purpose is something which drives a personality. Okay. Maybe once you become much more older and you will have certain experiences coming out of your professional life. So what I have realized, that sooner you are able to understand that what is the purpose of my life, better you can plan your remaining time till the time we are alive. So I realized that I have a different purpose, and the purpose was more in terms of creating the happiness, at a very high level. So I thought that, okay, instead of getting a hefty salary for myself, can I make the guys employable? So can I give them the job? And keeping that in mind, and of course one is the job, which is a byproduct, but the major objective was that how I can serve my customer, because over this almost you can say 15 16 years, I had a realization that what is not so good in India, how the other countries are doing much better, and how they are able to differentiate the cost at the end of the day, and how as a country they are becoming much more cost and quality conscious. So many things came into the mind, and then I thought that, okay, can I create a difference in the industry? Okay, and my objective was very clear, that I wanted to serve to the automotive industry, because even in consulting I served to Tata Motors, and then Cummins and Mahle, they all are from the automotive domain. So I started my consulting company in 2019. Okay, so this everything looks good till this point. You will feel that, okay, this guy is doing a very good career growth, getting everything, but life always calls for something which we have not even anticipated. So now let's move on to the next slide. If I summarize again quickly, so phase one was my foundation for my life, which is engineering, and I'm very strong into the technical things. So if you ask me anything about mechanical engineering, I should be still able to answer. I can derive the formulas. I can tell you that what is the logic behind an IC engine, how it works, what is the logic behind the EV, and so on. And also, I developed analytical capabilities being an engineer. And then also I did my post graduation in CAD CAM and robotics, which that time it was looking, everybody was telling me that, will you go to US or some other Western countries, because in India robotics automation in 2002 to 4 was like a dream, right? And now every industry is looking only for this, right? And of course, a few things in the digital manufacturing which I learned, but that was not so much accepted by the industry at that point in time. And lastly, of course, the operation management and supply chain strategy. So, gain as a person, I could get a very deep domain expertise, which gave me a long-term advantage. So nothing goes waste. Sometimes we feel that, why I'm studying this subject, but at any point in time in your life, you will realize that, hey, I had learned something, provided you are serious, right? Otherwise, we take a lot of degrees, and then, because I'm interviewing almost 4 or 5 guys every month, and it's a very sorry situation currently, that what skills they have, what industry expects, and that's why people are not employable, because they do not have the right skill set. So always you should be serious of what you are studying. So this was all about my education corporate journey I had shared, wherein I told that what I did with Mahle. I joined as a management trainee, grew up to general manager in 10 years. It's a very big achievement. I was the youngest DGM and GM in that company at that point in time. And as I told you, that I had exposure of operations, sales, ERP, supply chain transformation. Okay, and of course, I became little renowned in my industry because of so many new initiative what we took. I went to various conferences. I became a speaker in many of the forums, and I started sharing. That gave me a lot of confidence that, hey, what I am doing in my company is seen as something extraordinary in the market. Unless you go out and try to validate your learnings, your delivery with others, which we call as a benchmarking. Sometimes it is required, because that will give you a confidence that where you are, right? If I am sitting in a room like I'm currently talking to you guys, and I do not go outside, I do not know whether I am good, bad, whether people will accept. So this is also one of the very contributing factor that why I decided to do something at my own. So again, my takeaway from my corporate leadership journey is that early career discipline shapes your leadership capabilities. Very, very important. Because if you, when you are starting your career here, and if I say that he is the CEO, right? So the funnel gets shorter, and now so many guys are having the similar hard skills capability, but only few will reach to this level. Why? Because of their people handling, the leadership capability is very, very, very important. Because if you have a vision, if you are able, what is leadership? In my opinion, it's a very simple thing. Anyone who can answer what is leadership in your opinion, in your views? Anyone? Okay, let me continue. So leadership is nothing. If you have a followers, right, you are a leader. Very simple. हम बोलते हैं ना, हमारा नेता कैसा हो, like something something, right? So this all because if somebody or group of people are saying that, hey, Aman is a leader, it is not only a political leader, you can be a corporate leader, why not? But you should have a followers, and then you become a leader automatically. But the question is that what you will do extraordinary so that you will have the follower, right? So again, it's a different topic of leadership. I do not want to talk about that, right? The phase two again is the Accenture consulting, wherein I got exposure to the sales. I was a hardcore supply chain guy, ERP guy, and then when I went to the sales, I said, "Hey, I cannot do the sales." So my manager told me that, Aman, see, you are a business consultant, so you cannot say that I will do this project and not do that project. So it's the golden opportunity. Why don't you try? I said, boss, I'm introvert. I cannot talk to the customers. He said, come on, just explore. And trust me, he pushed me very hard. And it was the first time I landed into sales. And then I thought that that is the best part. And if you look at my career, whenever I was heading the supply chain, it was not a factory role. It was also a sales role, which was a combination. So which I handled. And after that, I became completely exposed to the market and the people, excellent learning. And then I realized that, hey, if I would not have accepted that, sometimes we say that even your fortune knocks the door not many times, right? But you need to grab it. There is no harm in trying something new. If you fail, no problem. If you succeed, future is yours. So that way, we have to be very optimistic in trying the new things, because if your seniors are giving you few opportunities, right? He must have seen something in you. It is not that any person will come and say, "Hey, Aman, from tomorrow you handle quality." No, maybe over a period of time they have seen certain traits in you, and they believe that he can be a good leader or whatever in this particular field, and that's how you land into that. So again, my suggestion would be that keep exploring any opportunity which comes to you. Do not say no, right? Explore it. If you fail, still you learn. If you succeed, nothing like it, right? So my takeaway again is that consulting builds strategic thinking and problem solving abilities. Okay. Then, as I told you that nowadays also I work as a freelance with McKinsey and on various subject matter expert. But again, as I had worked with Accenture, I know that how consulting works, and that is again helping me. And they have a different approach of problem solving. So it is completely different from if you work into a manufacturing sector versus if you work into the consulting. Then lastly, again, phase two, which is continuing with Cummins. Again, it was altogether different role, new exposure. Again, multi dimensional customer I had, like the local customers, the government customers, then the global customers, right? So again, a fantastic learning. 2 years I did it, and then I decided to part ways. But again, my takeaway from that role is that leadership requires to create again people, process, and performance, right? So that is what is expected at the end. If you are at the apex of the leadership, you need to motivate the people, you need to drive the people, you need to put the process in place, right? And ultimately, it is the performance which is going to make you a successful leader or not so successful leader, right? So that is my takeaway. Now let's come to the most interesting part, I think, which is the topic for next another 20 minutes. So, entrepreneurship journey. I started in 2019. As I told you that I realized something. I had certain objective in mind, and as consulting was always something which was pushing me to go into the market. So I decided to start my own consulting in the domain of supply chain and SAP. So SAP is more on the IT side, and we thought that how I can bring the business and IT together, because that is most of the times we have seen that both works in isolation, and project most failure happens because of the non-alignment between the business and the IT. So we thought that, okay, let me go to the market saying that, boss, I have a unique combination wherein under one roof I am bringing IT and operations together. So you give me the problem, I'll solve the problem. It is complete ownership is mine. With that noble cause, I started in 2019. Again, at the same time, I had put up a manufacturing facility for packaging in Chennai in 2019 end. Okay, wherein I was supplying the packaging, a different type of packaging to the automotive industry in South. Okay, recently again we have started. So this I closed down. Okay, this is a very a sad part of my journey that this I closed after COVID, because of I lost my brother and father back to back, and because of the family engagement, I was forced to close this factory. And I managed. It was a profitable venture, but for me it was getting difficult because SAP and supply chain consulting works across India. Like currently, we are engaged in Bangalore, in Delhi, in Pune, three cities. So I have to keep traveling here and there. And then I had a factory, so again there a lot of customers. So and then I had few of the not liability but responsibility came from my native. I am from Bihar, so again you can think of that how much travel was getting engaged. So I decided to close this. And then recently we have started another company which is Adecopack, which you must have heard into my introduction. So we have started working on the packaging, consulting, and services. A very big business potential I realized after working with McKinsey. So we have a couple of consultants now, and wherein we are doing a lot of cost and value proposition with the clients as far as the packaging. Very, very interesting field. So this is a separate company. I have a different partner in this. Another company which I started in 23, which is completely into the transportation domain. So currently I run three companies. One is this, which is TechSCM. Second is Adecopag, and third is Transtech Solutions. So these three companies, not very big, but yes, we are trying to move slowly but steadily, and hopefully we should have a satisfied customer under our kitty. In totality, we may have more than 25 customers if I take all the three companies into consideration, right? So my learning is again that entrepreneurship requires courage, of course, because if you are sitting at, let's say, a very hefty salary, and now if tomorrow you want to start your own business again, you should have courage, of course, because from a very high level earning you are coming back to zero, because you will not be bothered about your earning, but you will look for your employee. That is the first responsibility change. Once you become from professional, you become the entrepreneur. Then persistency is the key. So many times we have failed, we have worked, still we said no, we have to get it done, we have to get it done. And let me tell you, in these two businesses, business development is not less than 8 months to 1 year. Sometimes it also exceeds. So now you think that I'm traveling to Bangalore, going there for the business development, making proposals, another proposal, another person, and then it takes 1 year. So how much money and time we are investing in to get the business? And then once you get the business, then you have to deliver, then you will earn money. So a lot of patience you have to keep if you are driving this kind of business. That is my learning. And many failures, many obstacles will come, but you have to keep continuing. Do not boggle down with certain hindrances, and then slowly you will come up to your expectation, whatever desire you have, in terms of meeting the objective of your business. And adaptability, very, very important, because nowadays things are changing very, very fast. Customer requirements are changing very fast. Technological disruption is happening. Something which was relevant yesterday is not relevant for tomorrow, right? So even earlier was the days, if you take an engineering degree, you are done for your life, right? Now it is not that. As I told you that I am also taking a lot of certificates. I always try that every year I should be getting one certification, right? Which is a meaningful, not like that going to some website and taking. No, 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 no. That will not help. You should gain certain knowledge, so that you can, once you are going to the client, you are meeting the CEOs. Sometimes they are also completely updated, right? So if you know various things, then certain things which is coming from your customer, and if you are able to connect, your job is done, because they will feel, hey, Aman knows this subject, right? So for a consultant or for an entrepreneur who is into this kind of business, he should be keeping somebody may even talk about the US Iran war. Why not, right? Because that is the most discussed topic nowadays. Anybody can talk on IPL valuation. Why not that? Why RCB have been taken at such a high value? So you have to be like always on the toes. You should be, your current affairs, your business acumen should be always updated, and for that you should be adaptable. So not only in terms of receptiveness of the knowledge, but also in terms of delivering to the customer. Maybe till yesterday, like I will give another example which you all can understand. We all were knowing maybe 5 years or 4 years ago about the e-com, right? So we said that from brick and mortar, we moved on the e-com, and now from e-com to q-com, very short, right? Now in q-com also various things are changing, and if you see the product portfolio which have been included, it's amazing, right? You can get everything within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? So these things, business is also adapting, the business models are evolving, so the entrepreneurs needs to be adaptable, otherwise you are done. Then you will become like a Kodak and Nokia. Kodak, this photography, there are so many case studies which says that if the companies are not adaptable, what has happened to the company in the long run. So we need to be adaptable. That is these three things for me. I think these are the key. And if we have this kind of trait, of course, if you're planning to be entrepreneur, I think you are going to be successful. So I have kept a video for 6 minutes. I liked it. It has a very meaningful message. I'll try to play and just see that if you're able to. Are you able to listen? Sorry, sir. Is this audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Okay. This is the most important message what I want to convey.
Yes, sir.
No,
Aman, sir.
no, yeah, yeah. What I was saying, that this is the most important message from this clip, which I want students to focus upon. Nothing else.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Aman sir, video is not seen. Aman sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, video is not seen.
That's what I was asking, that are you able to see the video? Nobody told me. Sorry. Just a second, sir. Just you are able to hear, right? But not able to see.
Sir,
Not, sir, you are able to hear the video but not able to see. Am I right?
no sir, not for this. Not here also, not seen the
Okay,
video.
then leave it. We will move on. I will
Sir,
not waste time.
can you
Huh?
please share the video to me so I
I
can?
will share. I will share after the
Okay.
lecture. Okay. So the crux was that if we are into any profession, any business, any product, the question is that we should always start with why Apple is making this product, and if you start with why, then you have to go to what, and then how comes in between. So this video was from Simon. So he's a writer. He has written always starts with why. There is a book, right? So um, what I was trying to take from this video and trying to correlate with my story, that as I told, that why I went into the entrepreneurship is because I was clear with why. Why cannot be money, that I want to earn more money. No, money is always a byproduct. Whether you work as a professional, whether you are doing into business, so you should never ever aim for money. Money is always a byproduct. If you run behind money, my personal learnings are that money will never come to you. But if you run behind any services, any product wherein you want to create a value for the customer, money will follow. I think the similar thing he was trying to tell into his video, so I will share, no problem. Okay, and sir, you can share with the students, no problem. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so coming back to the challenges, as I told you that you on the very second slide, you must have seen my growth, and most of you would thought that okay, this guy was having a very rosy path. It was not that, right? Because normally we see na ki parde ke piche, behind the curtain, so many things happen, right? But once the actor is coming and doing an acting, we always feel that he is the most happiest and successful. No, leaders are also an actor, trust me. Leaders are an actor. When I was in Oxford, we have been taught that how to act under adverse conditions. So as a leader, you cannot go and say, "Oh, stress on your face, you are not able to speak." No, that is not leadership. So leadership also teaches us that how to become an actor. Because if head of the family will tell to the family that hey, this problem, that problem, we cannot survive, even if he is knowing all the adversity, he cannot tell. If our prime minister will come and say that hey, there is an adversity and we are going to collapse as a country, what will happen? No, still, even if he knows that there are so many problems at the moment, but he will try to keep the morale up, right? So similarly, for any entrepreneur, if you talk to him, he will have lot of ups and downs. So my downs were, of course, at the time of COVID, which I told that I had a personal loss. Because of that, the business which I was setting up, it was 3 years I had completed. It was the time to get the profits on the table, but unfortunately, with the heavy heart, I shut down that factory, right? And I also learned that what are the challenges if you move out of your territory, go to a different place where you do not know the language, right? And then how you can still be successful. So that was a good learning I had, I'll tell you. Even I was not having any packaging background, although I was working in a company, I was one of the member who was contributing to run that factory for sure. But once it is your own business, you have a different challenges. So, and I learned packaging as a subject, right? So nothing goes waste, which I told many times during my discussion today, that do not feel that anything I am doing, it is meaningless. Some point in time you can always correlate. And of course, Chennai closure is a second thing. Now, the latest challenge is what I faced. As I told you that we have a consulting packaging company and services. Now, because of this war, trust me, after working for 10 months with a customer, I got the purchase order. Okay. And then after getting the purchase order, means before even getting 3 days ago, there was a price hike of 40% of raw material. Again, another 7%, and then again 11%. Now, the business which was knocking the door, everything was ready. Because of the raw material price went up, this business is no more viable. So now this was never planned. We never anticipated that this may go against us, right? So the investment what we have done till now, it is on hold. Now this is a risk in the business, right? So this is another challenges which I faced, and this I would like to reiterate that nowadays the external factors, which can be political, economical, right? The global factors are more prone because the entire globe is a market. So something happens maybe far away from our continent, still we are impacted, right? So latest learning I have this, and now we are waiting. We cannot do anything than to wait that if it will come down, then only the business we can start with. So it's a big risk, right? Nobody anticipated. Now, the lesson what I learned is leadership is tested most during the adversity, right? So, when the things are not going as per you, how do you manage? And you think of a bigger companies, like the companies like Ford, the GM, they have seen adversity, still they have managed companies running. So, a lot of decisions you have to make as a leader, as an entrepreneur. And again, your real test is against the adversity. When the examination paper is tough and still you perform, we all know that you are genius. Correct? So same thing. No different thing happens in our life. And persistency, which I already said that persistency is the key to the success. So you have to keep doing. There is nothing which happens overnight, right? Again, financial responsibility and integrity, which I learned during as an entrepreneur, is I have to take the responsibility of the entire business, right? I closed my factory wherein I have invested all my hard-earned money, and then in order to clear my debt, I sold my flat in Pune. I could clear all the debt, so again it is like starting from scratch. Again, I'm trying to rebuild myself and my company professionally. So you have to be tough, you have to be mentally very hard, right? At the same time, you cannot show your emotions to your family members, right? To your team members, to your customers, to your suppliers. So again, the entire ecosystem, and still you have to live with it and you have to bounce back, right? It happens. It happens. It's very normal. Even it happens in the job. So lesson learned is reputation and integrity are the long-term asset. Do not think anything in the short term, right? You may be finding it hard. You may find certain shortcuts, and you will realize कि मैं पैसा कमा लेता हूँ, right? I do something wrong, but no, this all will not take you longer and up in the ladder. So you have to be little mindful. You have to keep patience, and please, I always believe in one line that you need to be sincere in your work, and God will answer your call. You need to be sincere. You give your best. Something will come today or tomorrow, and you will be completely satisfied and happy. Right? I am committed to learning. Of course, as I told you, Now, so professionally, what I'm doing, I have already told. I'll skip this. I'm also, by the way, I'll tell you. So I'm also engaged in my agriculture land at my native after demise of my father. After his retirement, he was also engaged, but I am engaged at this moment. So I manage both the things. I also have certain real estate rental business. So again, I have multiple things to play. That way, I am fortunate, and I keep myself learning from this sector, going to another sector, taking something from there. So that way, I'm blessed. I'll tell. Okay, so the focus mine is to transform the manufacturing. That is my single line agenda. Being an entrepreneur, being a professional, by bringing the supply chain excellence, because supply chain is too vast, too big, with the help of technology, which because we cannot leave that apart, right? So we are working on some of the AI based tool. We are working on the ERP. We are working on certain very customized in-house made IT tools. So we are trying to leverage all those. Okay. So what are my principle? What are my leadership principle? Again, some of the points are repetition, but just bear with me. You have to build your deep expertise. You are always, if you have the deep expertise in any subject, any profession, trust me, there are many takers, even in 140 crore people, right? So, but you have to be, you have to shape up your skills so that people know you and they will connect with you. Take ownership of your outcome. Do not blame. मैं business में if I lost my money, I cannot blame anybody. I have to say that okay, that was my decision. Somehow it did not work. Fine, move on. Right? Do not start the blame game. Integrity, I told you. Learning, it has to continue till we are alive. And very important for a leader, for an entrepreneur, that whatever you are saying, so do and demonstrate, right? Whatever you are saying, you need to act and you need to demonstrate. So again, there are various examples. I do not want to quote any businessman over here, wherein they what they say they do not demonstrate, and hence over a period of time their integrity is questioned in the market. And lead with resilience during uncertainty. Very important nowadays. I think this should be on the top, because whatever you will plan, it some of things may not work and your entire plan may not be working, which I told you right now. In one of my business, I am struggling because of the RM price increase, but still we have to survive. We have to take the business. We cannot say that this has not happened and hence my 1 year effort has gone out and I cannot run now. So you have to learn that how you can be still continuing in the uncertainty and adversity. Okay, so my advice to all of you, the youngsters, that start with your domain knowledge. Do not fear for failure, because early failure will give you a tremendous learning. Okay, try early, experiment early, and fail early so that you can succeed also early. It has a lot of linkage. Cash flow, very important for the business. Very, very important. You cannot do anything without managing your cash flow. You should have good mentors who can guide you, and whenever you are in trouble, you should take the opinion from your mentors. And of course, if you really want to become an entrepreneur, you have to think of the real problems of the industry and try to solve it. Okay. Again, for the future leaders, same thing. Technical depth creates your credibility. Correct. Corporate experience builds discipline, so you can always plan to go into the corporate and then earn some money like me, and then again you can become an entrepreneur. So there is no time. Anytime you can become an entrepreneur, right? Whenever you feel. Uh, Again, resilience is the biggest learning. Adversity and learning never stops. Okay, so maybe I will not go into this detail, but another 2 minutes. It's 11:48. Then I will open up for the question and answer. So entrepreneurship, by now, you must have known something out of my conversation in last 40 minutes. But if you will tell me that how to summarize, so entrepreneurship is nothing but it is the capacity and willingness to develop, right? It can be a product, it can be a tool, it can be a set of people. You can do anything, right? I can be a good HR company, I can be a good training company, and I can develop. So develop means it has a very big horizon. It can be product, it can be process, it can be services, and why not, right? Second is to organize and manage your business venture, which I will give it this little down on the people and the process and the money, right? And ultimately, It is a byproduct, again I will say, but you have to make it profitable so that you can survive. So for me, the entrepreneur is someone who develops a business model, acquires the necessary physical and human capital to start a new venture and operationalize it, and is responsible for success or failure. I think I have told everything which I am summarizing over here. That you have to own your success and failure confidently. Failure is nothing wrong, I am telling you again and again. But please learn out of failure, do not repeat it, and make it a meaningful, successful story out of your failure. People will recognize you, they will respect you, you will feel confident. No looking back, trust me. And never ever you should be feeling shy of feeling your sharing your failure. Right? There is a book which talks about that, which all entrepreneurs have failed miserably, and what are the takeaway for the individuals, what you can learn from their failure. So please share it openly if you get a chance to share your failure, right? This I will leave. This all I have told. Fine. Challenges I have already spoken about. Okay, one more minute on innovation. So for me, innovation is a tool, right? Which entrepreneurs should leverage, because unless you innovate into your product, into your services, like we I will share that video which is on Apple. So if you are innovative, you are trying to create a new value, new services to the customer will be willing to pay. So just Google it out sometimes on innovation, and there are many courses if you want to, because innovation is a process. Huh? Do not be afraid of that. That hey, only Newton invented. There is a big difference between invention and innovation, right? Invention happens accidentally, but innovation is a set process, and there are so many methods. Now, the most prominent is design thinking. If you know about the design thinking, it will help you to innovate. So certain processes which are already in place, and now you want to bring something more. But the most important part is that you have to take customer into your consideration, which is nothing but the empathy. What problem you want to resolve for your customer? If it is rightly addressed, there is a process, and you can be a good innovator, right? So why I put this, because I wanted to make it a point that do not be afraid of innovation. Try to, if you are really thinking of doing something new in this red ocean, still you can learn this tool, and then you can be very systematic in doing your innovation journey. So I will take a pause, just a second. Okay, so my closing remark: success is not a straight line, and it is a journey of learning, resilience, and reinvention. Dream big, stay ethical, and keep learning and building. So life is very exciting, because no law works in your life there, because there are so many deviations, and that will make you completely um, it will allow you to be on the toes if you are very energetic, very passionate, very exploring person. You will realize that life has many aspects which you guys need to explore, and as you grow up in your ladder, you will realize that how a person become from the completely professional domain, business domain, you will become a spiritual over a period of time. So again, it's the phases of the life. Keep exploring. So thank you. I think we have 7 minutes, so I will open now for question and answer. Just give me a moment. I'll switch off my pen. Yes, Aniket sir. So maybe students can ask if they have any questions, anything. I will try my level best to answer.
Yes, sir.
Anything, any comment, or you want to ask anything more about me? Was it boring? Was it meaningful? Anything you can say, guys. You're doing post graduation. You cannot be so quiet. No one out of how many? I think we have 142 participants. There is a question. Sir, could you, sorry. I would encourage if you just unmute and please speak. That would be better. So that I also know you and switch on the camera so that we know each other. We are no more a stranger, correct? So I think, acha, there is a question from Professor Ravindra Swami. Unable to see the video, okay. Sir, Siddhi. Who is Siddhi? It's a very generic question. What is the key turning points? Okay, so I think, Siddhi, can you please come on the camera? Very good question from Chauhan Samruddhi Sagar. Siddhi, there?
सर कॅमेरा ओपन होत नाही प्रॉब्लेम येतोय थोडा
कोई बात नहीं, चलिए ठीक है, वी विल टॉक एट लीस्ट. सो सिद्धि, आप मेरे से क्या जानना चाहते हो? आई एम फील कंफर्टेबल बिकॉज आई कैन नॉट स्पीक इन मराठी बट आई अंडरस्टैंड. अभी आपको मेरे जो भी जर्नी मैंने शेयर करी है, सो व्हाट यू वांट टू नो about the key turning points, right? So I think, which I have already explained, that while working I realized that there is a great potential to contribute in the Indian automotive industry in terms of setting up the processes, setting up the supply chain excellence in the industry. I think that was the key element which came into my mind. And when I started going to multiple forums, started interacting with many company professionals, I realized that there is a great need of giving this service to the companies, wherein I can bring the alignment between the business and the IT. Keeping that in mind, I decided that okay, let me start my own consulting because I wanted to drive. Yeah, today I work with McKinsey, I have worked with Accenture, but they have their set process. But what I realized that there is a set of companies in India wherein they need a very customized solution. So I cannot be completely adamant. Of course, I also have a process which I say we follow, but we are very much flexible to tune to the client requirement. And I think with that cause, I landed into the business, and then I diversified because that was the need of the hour. Because I told you that we evolve. It is not that any big corporate office today they have multiple businesses, right? And they might not have started everything on day zero or day one, correct? So they also uh, understands that what are the upcoming things, what are the new business, what they are also interested in, and that's how means people are starting with one business going to the second and three and four and so on, right? So I cannot say that I am a successful entrepreneur in terms of scaling because I told you that I have three companies. Okay, one company is now almost 7 year old, the second one is 3 year old, and the last company we have started last year. But yes, as I'm serving to many clients, I'm able to give the salary on time to the employees, right? I'm taking care of the welfare. So journey has started but yet to scale. That is my answer. And I think that in next 2 to 3 years we are planning to scale up and touching up to 50 crore or so. That is our vision. Let's see whether we are successful or not. That time will tell. Siddhi, am I able to say something on your question?
येस सर थँक्यू सर
Okay, so now Samruddhi Sagar Chauhan, who is that? Can you speak up at least if you are not able to open your camera? Okay, so in the interest of time, I will give the answer if that he or she is not coming up. So now the key habits. I'll say that I am very systematic guy. Okay, I am time bound approach I always take. And the key habits, if you ask me that what I do, every day I study. for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, depending upon the time, even for 1 hour. I keep myself updated on the current affairs. I always read Economics Times and Times of India. If I'm in Pune, if I'm traveling, then I miss, and then of course I go to the e-paper. But this is one habit. Second, that I keep a tab of what I'm supposed to do today, why it has not been done, in case not done, why not done. So again, I manage my calendar very efficiently. Okay. Third habit is, of course, learning on the technical part. That keeps me motivated, that keeps me a lot of point to ponder upon, and then something comes out, because I keep learning that, how Europeans are working, Chinese are working, what we can bring it back. So again, in habits, if you ask me, I try to balance it with the learning, the time schedule, and so on. That is my habits and daily practices, I will say. And this has contributed, of course, to my long term success, because if you are not systematic, not time bound, I think you're not a good leader. That I can tell you. So I have worked with many leaders, working with the various top leaders, corporate leaders, and few things are very common, that they are very responsive. They are time bound. They have the answers, yes or no. They will not keep you hanging. So decision making again, and this comes from your experience, and your also failure and success, right? So you always say very confident in, no boss, I have been doing from so many years, I have delivered so many projects, so I am confident I should be able to deliver, and so on. So again, these are very small thing, but this will differentiate you. And as a leader, I will just say my last sentence, that as a leader, I have learned in Oxford this thing, that every leader is having three things in common. Please reflect if you can. So every leader is having certain agenda. There is no leader without agenda. Whether you take Trump today, whether you take Mahatma Gandhi earlier, Nelson Mandela, you name a leader, and you have to think that what were their agenda. They came with an agenda, and they try to achieve that. So they will have certain agenda. They will have certain edge, cutting edge. Like Tendulkar is having said, edge. Nowadays, there are so many players, right? I took Tendulkar because very famous personality from the Indian cricket. So even in that, you should have an edge. So every leader is not renowned, maybe because the edge is missing, but agenda everybody will have. Now the question is that whether your agenda is very impactful, meaningful, or your agenda is okay, not so meaningful, people are not taking interest. But study says, and we have done a lot of study, that every successful leader, let me refine my sentence, every successful leader will have certain agenda, they will have edge, and they never compromise on value. Very important. Whatever we say, na, adversity, I have been saying adversity for the sake of understanding and explanation. Against adversity also, your values should not change, then it is no more a value, right? And we talk about honesty and integrity again. So if you know the difference between these two, right? So the value system, the people have done a lot of research, that whether they have deviated from the set values, answer is no. So if you want to become a great leader in your life, these three things are very, very common. That over a period of time, you will have certain agenda, you should have certain values. Like somebody is asking that what are my habits and practices, this all becomes my value system, over a period of time. So I will start demonstrating unconsciously the same behavior every time, right? So that is how you will become successful, and you will keep repeating success story one after another. So please remember this three word, which is agenda, values, and what I said, they will have agendas, value, and third word, what I said, I also forgot. Mm, leaders will have agendas. Anyone who can recollect? Third word, I spoken, I am not able to recollect now. I don't know whether you guys are listening or not. I'm sorry, I'm not able to recollect the third word. So that's all. I think I'm done. Sorry, edge. agenda, value, and edge. They will have edge, cutting edge, differentiating factor, and so on. Yes, Aniket sir, I am done. Anything?
Yes, sir.
If there is no question, then I think there were only two questions which I tried to answer. Anything else is there? If,
Yeah, I have one question, sir. Very good
ah,
afternoon to you.
good afternoon. So many questions. Sorry. Yes.
Actually, what
What is your
I,
name?
yeah,
What is your?
myself, Srishti Shelar. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
Srishti.
Yeah, Srishti, tell me.
Yeah, so while working in the corporate, what I have understood is okay, you have been allotted the interns and everybody, right? So you get a responsibility to act as a leader. But what I have ended up doing is I drain myself. I took the responsibilities of the things, and rather than distributing, I drained myself. So there has been a trust issue, if I could trust my interns and if I should not, or the other teammates, because again, in because there has been some mistakes that they have committed, right? So could you please help me, because yeah, I end up working on Saturdays and Sundays also, because again, it's a kind
Okay.
expectation, I need to meet that, right?
No,
And we
very,
have
very,
set some
yeah.
standards, yeah, that we need to follow.
Yeah, so you are asking this question with your reference, or you are asking in as a case, like
You
some
could
of them.
take it as a case, but yeah, it is my reference. I end up doing
Okay,
these
so
things. Yeah.
I'll tell you there are different type of leadership. Okay, if I say leadership, because we are not talking about the corporate, you may say that there are different individuals. Maybe your style of handling the things is little different. So there are leaders who delegate the things to others. Now the question is, and this is a very very critical point for the industry, for the professionals, because many of the individuals who are very good into their subject, but they are not able to grow in the organization just because they are very poor delegator. Very valid point you have asked, Srishti, because we have been talking to various CEOs, and they will say that, hey, Aman cannot go further because he is very poor in delegating the things. Now, the question is there a mantra for delegation? Can I say that, okay, X plus Y is equal to Z and hence delegate? The answer is no. The if you're a leader, you have a set of people, right? Now the question is that as a leader you also need to gauge your people. Like Dr. Ubale must be knowing all the faculties, and he knows that what is the strength for a particular faculty versus another faculty. And now every individual, trust me, has certain strength and certain weaknesses, whether it is Srishti or Aman or Professor Giri, and every individual. Now as a leader, the good leader always try to take best out of you, right? Now we have seen people that they do not trust. So whether it is a matter of trust, the answer is no, because I may be trusting you for the other reasons, but why not for delegating the task? The question is that unless you evaluate that, okay, technically, professionally, emotionally, what kind of people is working with you, and you have to delegate the right task by evaluating that if anything will go wrong, how much risk I carry. So it's the complete leadership learning and demonstration. And trust me, this is a big pain for many of the top leaders, that they are saying that, hey, I want Aman to grow, but he's a very poor delegator. So there is no mantra. But again, the question is, many leaders are, we always discuss, and also we learn that whether leaders are born or we can make leaders. The question is, a few things of course you learn as you go up, your maturity, your demonstration, how you speak, what kind of explanation stories you create, fine, this all we learn. But I feel that there is certain element which you always carry with your birth as a leader, which always helps you. So you have few things, few traits in you which you validate. That's why I repeatedly said that you fail, but if you fail early, you succeed early, because you learn from that failure. And then you always try to experiment it, like as a bowler, as a batsman, right? In cricket we say that, okay, how I play on the leg cutter example, As a bowler, if I'm doing any kind of spin, right, the googly, good example, then how the other batsman is playing. So you need to analyze, and then you will take a risk, and then you play your card. So my suggestion to you is that if you are really stuck, please think thoroughly that what are the strength of my team members, and just try to delegate a small piece, right? He will deliver once, little bigger piece, he will deliver again. So you will, over a period of time, you will realize कि नहीं भाई ये जो बंदा है, he is reliable. Like, let's take another example, which is the inter-country relationship, right? So we say that, okay, so Russia is our good friend because we have been seeing this behavior over a period of time, right? And now you can trust blindly. You know that if I am in trouble, Russia will always come to us, or we can support them. So again, it will evolve. Any stranger you cannot delegate blindly. So, but as a team, you need to understand, gauge over a period of time, and then delegate so that you are not at risk. At the same time, you are not too stressed. That is what my mantra, at least, and it has worked very well for me. Srishti.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, so other couple of questions here. During difficult time when things are not going as planned, how do you keep motivated and focused? Very true. I have to keep myself like Arjun. I have to look at that what I want to achieve, and as I told you that even whatever journey you have planned, right, you may find lot of distraction, lot of demotivation because of internal external factor, but you cannot leave it, right? Again, my example, as I told you, now the RM prices has gone up. Should I leave the business which I have been trying from last 1 year? The answer is no. So we have to find out a way, and the motivation is something, again, very debatable subject. That can I be internally motivated, can I be externally motivated? Again, this we can discuss sometimes later. But if you are very clear on your objective, whatever may come on your way, you will tackle it. There is, again, so you have to be completely onto it, that I have to get it. You cannot go half-heartedly, karunga nahi karunga, kar bhi sakta hu. No, no, you have to, that I will do it. I may not, maybe, these all are will uh, tell your personality, right, कि ये बंदा confident ही नहीं है. So be very focused, and also be ready that something can go wrong, something can go against my plan. So you should always have a backup plan. Whenever we are making our business plan, we always say what are the risks. And then if you know the risk, right, that was my, of course, research subject also, that what are the risks in the supply chain, right? So we try to evaluate, quantify that risk. And if I know that my risk is like my blood sugar level, so if it is more than this, I need to act. I cannot be keeping quietly that it will happen, it will be okay automatically. So again, the question is that you have to do little bit of study, that okay, what if things will go wrong, what can happen, and things will go wrong, something will go out of your plan. You have to, and then you should not be leaving it, right? There are many examples. I can keep talking on this for 2 3 hours, that this guy, you see what has gone wrong, still he has overcome. So again, you have to be mentally ready. The answer is that if you know in your mind that something can go wrong, you will digest it and move on. There is nothing like I shut down my first company. Whether I'm done, no, I'm doing something new, because I learned from that what can go wrong, and now I'm trying to see that if something will go wrong in the same context, still my business should run. So that is how we move forward. How a student? Next question from Vishal. How can students identify and validate a strong and sustainable business idea? See, this is, I think this is a question which cannot be answered directly, because every business starts with some idea you will have. Now you need to validate, and that's what I told you, that there should be a systematic approach of innovation, because we are not an inventor. Again, I'm repeating, we can be innovator. So if you are trying to think, or some idea has come to you, you need to be evaluate that idea thoroughly by using certain tools. Like I told you, one which is design thinking, very commonly used, very nice tool, which will help you to understand your competition, your customer, your resources. So and then you can still be much more meaningful in your approach. That's what I will say. So do not say blindly, okay, I thought that q-commerce will work. No, but if you go behind it, there is a study has been done. They have understood that what can go in the favor of the company, what can go in the favor of customer, and so on. So to answer this question, I will say just that you should have a systematic approach for evaluating your business idea, which may be one which I'm telling you, which I know I have been using, is the design thinking. Okay. How can MBA students prepare themselves effectively? Very big challenge. We are very, very disappointed as a startup company, as an entrepreneur, that we are not getting the right folks. I have the work, I have the assignments, but I am not getting the right folks who can work on the because of the lack of skill. So of course the question is, they are trying to ask that real world business challenges. So more and more case study you should read, you should analyze. So reading like a novel will not help you. You should be critical in your learning, that why this company is growing, what is in favor of that, how they have adopted the adverse condition, still they have delivered. So you need to be very skillful, and nowadays we expect the youngsters to be on dot whatever we want in the industry. So your fundamentals, management fundamentals, should be very clear. Analytical skill is a must. Without that, nothing is happening in today in the corporate. We have ample data. We need somebody like you guys who should be good into the data analytics. It is not only the tool, but what is the inferences you will make out of the data and the result. So you should be thorough, right? So we expect that your fundamentals should be pakka, and your analytical skills should be icing on the cake. Then maybe you are well accepted. And if you feel that you want to go into the technology, being an MBA also no harm, but again you should be expert in one subject, one tool, and there are many takers in the market. But the situation is very, very, very bad in terms of taking the youngsters in the companies, because they lack skills. They do not want to read books. They say, okay, I have pad, I have mobile, I have learned, but this all will not help. Trust me. Even if by many times we also do the wrong assessment, so we have to sack the people. I'm telling you upfront, because they are not delivering. We can't help you. You can cheat me. I may have the wrong evaluation from my side also in the interview, but it's a very short story between the employer and the employee. So please be very mindful of what you study, and there is nothing outside that. The curriculum which has been designed is perfectly all right, and try to have certain more certifications, which is the contemporary topic, so that people or the recruiter will at least see you as a very value additive guy in the company. And then maybe the shortlisting itself is a big challenge nowadays. Okay, young entrepreneurs should avoid in their stage. I think this question of what are the most common mistake that young entrepreneurs should avoid in the early stages of their career, I think the evaluation, so you should have. I showed the 5 steps of entrepreneurship journey. I think every step is important, and you should be very careful in the resource management, how you want to scale it, what kind of mentors you want to have, and the cash flow. I think these 4 5 points are very, very important. If you are able to do it, scale it slowly. Do not go for the big bang approach. Do not take too much of funding, because then it will create a stress on you. So try to manage your business for a couple of years at your own, and then you should have a good plan that how you can scale it, because there are many investors who will put money if you have a very meaningful story to tell them, nothing else. What do you do when things don't go as per planned your business? I already told you that we always try to keep some contingency plan, that okay, what will happen if I will not go via this means. So always you should have a contingency plan for the critical things. I will not say that for everything you should have a contingency plan, otherwise you will become mad. For the critical things which can jeopardize your business, you should have a contingency plan. That is my answer. The last question is, how can a student build confidence to present their ideas effectively in front of investor? It will come again. I say it is. I told you that few things come as an gift to you. जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि the leaders are either born or we can create. So again, it is all your command on the business idea, how you have planned, how you want to scale it. So it's all your preparation, your vision, that how you want to see this business, and again the most important part, that this business, how it is going to impact the life of the individual. Very important, right? Very, very important. Because if you are able to create that value, and if you are able to convince the investor that, hey, this is the value I'm going to create, again I'm telling you, there is no dearth of investors. They are all looking for a good idea. So if you have done the thorough study, good business plan, you have in place, uh, you will get the investor. It is not a problem, not a problem. But I have also gone through this phase, and what I realized, that if you want to start from zero, right, and unless it's a completely innovative thing, nobody will put their money into your business. So the right thing is that you do it at a smaller scale with whatever funds you can manage, and then show the success, small success, and then build on it. So this will come, of course, because if you believe in your idea, right, nobody can stop you. So it's completely your individual idea, but yes, you should have a right approach, right steps followed. You can do it. I do not see a problem, and you can convince any investor, provided he is also interested in your idea. So first is the idea, and then comes the commercial and ROI and how you want to scale it. That is my answer. Okay, sir. I think I'm done with all the questions. What is in the chat box?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the session.
Okay. So thank
So,
you, all of you. It was nice interacting through e-mode, although I do not prefer too much, because I'm a person who always believe to have the, interaction in classroom. Because even I am not able to see the students, on the camera or this. So anyway, but it was fine to at least tell my views, my thought. And any of the students, if they want to get connected with me on personal level, I am available on LinkedIn. You can connect with me, and if you have any queries, if I can make any difference, I can be supportive to your journey, whether it is a professional journey or educational journey or entrepreneurship journey. Feel free to connect, because it gives me a lot of satisfaction. So you all are most welcome, and I have been coming to your college from many years, right? So I have a long connection, and of course my guru is there, Dr. Ubale. So we have a very good connect, good relationship. So feel free. You can treat me as your big brother, another faculty, whatever. But always you are most welcome to connect with me, guys. Feel free.
dear sir, on behalf of Matrix School of Management Studies, I extend our sincere gratitude for your invaluable contribution as a guest speaker on the topic Motivational Expert Session by Successful Innovators and Entrepreneurs. So, your session was highly insightful, engaging, and enriching for all our students. So, we sincerely appreciate the time, effort, and dedication you invested in delivering such an impactful session. Your contribution has significantly strengthened our academic initiatives and supported our objective of nurturing innovative thinking and entrepreneurial skills among our students. We look forward to the opportunity of collaborating with you again in the future and hope to welcome you back for more such enlightening sessions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, all students, for being the patient listener. Okay. And as I told, I will repeat, feel free to connect with me by whatever mode you want. Yeah. And I will be happy to assist you within my capacity. Right. So thank you, sir. Thank you, other faculties and students. Have a good day. Thank you.
All the students don't let the session without filling the feedback form.